Alrighty, I know the frequency is not in use because I just got off of it, and there's nobody else there. This is K4PEW net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net. If there was any emergency or priority traffic, I'm sure you've already jumped in there, so I'm not even going to ask you about that. But if you have an emergency, call 911, and then you can talk to us, and we'll do it for you. For information on the net, you can watch YouTube right now and see the surface, the display on my radio to see how your signal sounds compared to others, or you can listen to stations that you wouldn't normally hear with your own antenna and figure out why in heck you can't hear them. You can also go to Facebook. It's at MJ Simplexton Net on Facebook. You can see me. Not important, but you can also go to 146.415.net for the information on Simplex, and if you want to sign up for our email reminders and or get on the system where you can ask questions and technical questions and get announcements about our nets as well as other nets, you go to what do you call it, groups.io, groups.India Oscar, and put in MJSS for Mount Juliet Simplex Society. It'll come right up. You don't have to join, of course. The net normally meets at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. And tonight we're going to a little bit of a change. We're here. It is Wednesday night. We're going to do 146.415 where we are right now, and then we're going to move over to 446.415 FM, and then over to 28.415 upper sideband, and then to 223.415 on the 220 band. Purpose of that is to have fun, figure out how our radios work and how they don't work, and why our antennas aren't any good or why they are good. It's always an effort in trying to make things better. Announcements, of course, are fairly straightforward. We just did the net schedule. Don't forget the 10-meter net that's on Sunday nights. It duplicates, in fact, expands on the one we do. Mike KM4YRF does the Sunday night net at 7:30 p.m. on Sundays, and that's on 28.415. That's where he starts, and then it moves on to 29.415 FM, and then on to 223.415 on the 220 band. Let's see, I had something else here. And, oh yeah, field day. Field day is coming up. I'll have an announcement on the net, on the not the net, but on the groups.io site about the location, and we're looking for a number of those who are going to participate. Not only thinking about it, but are sure they want to participate, so we can make plans about what to do, what to bring, what not to bring, etc. It'll be a powered site, so we'll have power available on it. I'll give you the details in the next day or so. But be thinking about whether you do want to come or don't want to come. And that's, of course, last Saturday and Sunday of June. Does anybody have any other announcements? All righty. Well, we'll be taking, this is net number 999. Just be glad it's not 666. I don't remember going over that one, but we might have. 999, and it's next Saturday is that's one of the big announcements. This coming Saturday is going to be net number 1000. So I don't know, I'm bringing cake for me, but I don't know what you guys are having. We're starting from the east, but tonight we're going to be starting with, as you always, people short on time, mobile or first time check-in. So if we meet one of those three categories, jump in it. Well, that was quick. Then we'll start from the east. Let's go. Okay. We'll get ready to mumble. Okay. Call in if you're from the east.
KM4YRF, ready and able.
Ah, very good. How you doing there, Mike?
I'm trying not to cause trouble, if that means anything.
Too late.
Yeah, I agree with that. I found the home for the antenna, though.
Which one?
The 10-meter 10-element beam.
Oh, you found it at the house there?
Yeah, I got two of them from Don, and we're gonna put one up at Rick's house, and I was trying to get in touch with Kevin to see if he would have an interest in it, but I never could get him. So Mr. Earl's going to be the proud owner.
Oh, now you're going to start a feud.
We'll just see what happens.
All right. All right. Anything else with that, Mike?
No, this antenna does both horizontal and vertical, so it would be good for FM and for sideband as well.
and CB.
Maybe.
Very good. We all done?
We're all done, Paul. Thank you for doing what you do. Back to next row.
Very good. That was Mike KM4YRF here in Nashville, in Mount Juliet. Slap my face. In east of me here in Mount Juliet. Who else is east? All right, then we're going to take from the north.
Wait a more join.
Okay, hold on one second, Earl. I had Danny in there. Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November. Everything going well with you?
All going great. Just sitting here. I seen you doing UHF, and I was like, oh no, I don't have it in my radio. And then I couldn't find the step because it wouldn't go to the frequency.
Well, you don't have the frequency in there. I got you. The radio does have 270 centimeters, right?
Yeah, I had to find the step rate, to change it because it was clicking over 1.5.
Oh yeah, no, I remember the first time I did that. I said, "How's this radio supposed to get to that frequency?"
Right.
Yeah, it was funny. My first reaction to that. Then I realized you could change it. Anything good for the net, Danny?
Oh, that's it. I just had to figure that out.
All right, very good. That was Danny. He's near Cottontown. Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November. Who else? I heard in there. I heard Earl in there.
Hey, Paul. Just passing through. All right, saying howdy up there. Not to stick on nobody or see on nobody or devil whatever you want to call it. He's like waiting for it.
Very good. That's Earl. He's over just east of Stick, or in Stick City, I guess he calls it. And he's east of the Cedars of Lebanon Park. So he has no excuse not to show up at the Cedars of Lebanon Park Ham Fest in August. Who else? I mean, that's Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Who else is east? East or north? All right. How about no more north? How about west?
All right.
Well, is it noisy tonight or is it just me?
No, it's noisy.
Man, that's really noisy. You doing all right?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Paul?
Really good. It's pretty outside. A little, almost got to be hot outside if you were standing in the sun.
Yeah, it would have been a perfect day.
Good for day for your garden.
Sure was.
Or a tan.
All right. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for doing it, Paul.
I do a lot of that. Yeah, thanks for doing what? I don't know. Just doing it. I'm doing it. Just anyway, that was Jack Kilo Golf for India Lima Victor. He's in Donaldson. Who else is the west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
All right, very good. I got Greg. There was a double in there, but Greg overcame everything there. Greg, how goes it?
Doing well. How about it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to get one better than Biscuit.
Yeah, Hickory is still a good one, but it's got to be Hickory.
I guess so. But everything's going good. Really is. It was. I got the antenna adjusted a little better, and it seems to be doing okay. How's it sound to you?
You're actually up a little bit, not as much as you should be.
What's interesting is you're fairly there's no noise in your stereo, almost none, and in Jack's it was really loud.
Yeah, I hear no noise tonight.
Man, you're blessed.
Yeah.
Very good. That was Biscuit, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west?
KL4 and KD.
Hello, Doug. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Paul. Doing fine. Just sitting here listening. I just got a ham alert notification that there's a guy activating a park in Alaska, and that's one I've not ever gotten. So I tuned him in on the HF rig, hoping I can hear him.
Oh, cool. Has he already started?
That's what it says. He's already started. I don't hear him yet, but I've got a couple of different antennas. I'll switch the thing on and try to pick him up.
Well, he is what? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 hours behind us.
I want to say 4, but you can't. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's good because it's 4 o'clock there, so he's going to be working that for another 4 or 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, it's very, very hard for me to hear him
I know one time I did a park up in Kentucky with a 20-meter ham stick out there at the Jefferson Davis Memorial, and I had to talk to a guy up in Alaska.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I've talked to a guy in Alaska. I have to check my logs, but my favorite was one. The guy gave me the name of the town, and I said, "Where?" And he said, "Yukon Territory." I said, "No."
Yeah, there's not a lot of ham operators up there. Well, I guess there are, but you know, their time zone is so different from ours. It's kind of difficult to make a connection. But one of these days, I'll get one. I mean, I've talked to people in Alaska, but it's not the parks on the air thing, you know.
No, it's but that's pretty cool though if you get hold of them.
Yeah, I'll just sit here and monitor for a while and listen to you and listen to the other guys, and hope everybody's having a good evening. By the way, I do want to mention that the Robertson County Amateur Radio Club will be having a test session this Saturday. If anybody, we'll take a walk-in. We don't really have anybody scheduled right now, but all of the E's are going to show up. And so if you're interested, we have a Facebook page, Robertson County Amateur Radio Club. And if you can't find anywhere else, if we're closer for you, come on in, take the test, get your ticket, and or upgrade, whatever you need to do.
And that's when? I didn't catch that part.
This coming Saturday at 1 p.m.
All right, very good. For everybody who didn't hear Doug, that was Robertson County's having a testing session, 1 p.m. Saturday. That's this coming Saturday, which would be 3 days from now, which would be the 4th, the 4th of May. And look it up on Robertson County Amateur Radio Club, and you'll get the details. That enough?
That'll do it. Thank you, Paul.
All right, very good. That was Doug at Kilo Oscar 4 Mike, Kilo Delta, and man, I forgot where you are again. Isn't that something?
Greenbrier.
I'm gonna have to drive up here so I can look at it.
Come on up. I'll make you a cup of coffee.
No, you know, it's so funny. When I've been places, it tends to settle in more than just some imaginary place I've never even looked. I'm gonna have to go to the street view in the maps, and that'll settle it in for me.
There you go. That's one way.
Yeah, very good. Anything else for that, Doug?
That'll do it.
Very good. That's Doug in Greenbrier. I knew it all along. I was just goofing. No, I forgot for the moment. That's a KO4MKD. Who else is west? All right, I got Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf. That's Kevin over here in what do you call it? Gladeville.
Yeah, that's where I'm from. I am west side. I'm about to come by the airport here down I-40.
Oh, so you are mobile. I got you. Things going well?
Yeah. Work.
Cool. Traffic good? Traffic should be good this time of night.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I normally try to avoid
Well, you got really noisy right there. You must have been in a bad spot. All right. Yeah, I didn't get any of that. I heard you talking, but it's too much static in there. Anyway, that was Kevin. He's mobile. Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf, and he's normally between Gladeville and Mount Juliet, I guess. Who else is west? West or anywhere? I almost forgot south, didn't I, Tony?
Well, we're anywhere.
No, that's true. It depends on where I start, but anyway, you're going well today.
Yeah, I struggled with today's connections. I blew up on yesterday. I'm sure you noticed.
Man, you know, you fall for that. You fell like I have. Well, you started with one and you kept doing the same mistake 4 times.
Yeah, you just go down on foot hole and you can't get out.
No, I'd rather stare at that thing for an hour and a half than do that again. I just hate doing that.
Well, yeah, whatever. Anyway, I came close to doing it today. I got really lucky.
Oh, cool. Glad to hear it.
You know, that's about it. It's been kind of a boring day.
Boring. It was nice and hot out there. Weren't you in the yard getting a tan?
Well, I went and picked up a bag and a half of trash, and other than that, I said the granddaughter was over here, so that rumble you heard in the foundation of the world, that was her jumping up and down.
Oh, wow, that's great. And you said she's how old again?
She's 4 going on 44.
Oh, 4 years old. You know, they know more than you do.
Yeah, she'll let you know that too.
She can probably give you some schooling on that video system you have over there.
I would not doubt it at all.
Very good. Anything else for the net?
Yeah, she's funny with the voice remote where you tell the remote what you want. Well, the voice remote doesn't quite understand 4-year-old.
Well, you'll have to get the AI attachment.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, no, that's it. K4Q.
Very good. That was Tony. He's in Smyrna, KF4, KFQ. Big signal. Who else is south?
K1SP.
Hold on, Scott. I had good signal on Larry down there in Rockville. Larry, how you copying me?
Coming in good tonight.
Yeah, I made a change on my antenna, and so we need some further work, but I'm glad I could hear you this time. Anything good for the net?
No, man, we're good. We'll let you know what you get.
Very good. That was Larry in Rockville. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. Scott, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. How's everybody else?
So far, so good. We're all well. I actually sitting upright and eating solid food.
Yeah, and I'm eating a lot of it.
Yeah, I've actually cut down quite a bit over the last couple 3 years because couldn't see carrying 285 pounds into my 70s. You know.
Yeah, well, it's a tough one. Get rid of everything like that. All right, carry on. Nothing else for the night. K1SP.
Yeah, very good. But I was actually gonna make a video about that because shouldn't be a revelation to anyone on how to lose. You have to eat less. It sounds so silly, but it's true. And I found out for the first time that if I consistently ate less, I wasn't as hungry as I used to be. And I have to remind myself to eat dinner. I mean, as I make dinner, sometimes I go, I'm not really hungry. My dinner is not a big one. I just get amazed at how the body just accommodates itself to less food. Anyway, that was Scott. He's in Laverne, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. Who else is south?
Kilo India 4, November Delta, November.
Very good. David, you sound good tonight.
All right, sir, and you as well. You sound good too. How you doing over there?
Well, I'm actually really slowly, and I mean really slowly, starting to pick up on some of the projects I needed to get done.
Okay, well, have you made changes to the antenna there? It seems to be doing well.
Yeah, I made a little bit of a change. I've still got more to figure out, though. I'm trying to understand why this antenna isn't as performing well as it should.
Is that a 700 down?
Yes, it is, and it's still got a higher than normal SWR, and it's not old enough to be busted, and I don't know what the deal is.
I understand. My signal here does not show as strong as the old original 100. I don't know if anything changed. It may be my radio, who knows? But you're loud and clear, and it sounds good audio. You've got about hard for me to tell on this signal straight here, but about 8 pounds on this input.
Oh yeah, well that's good. It's 8 out of what, 100?
I have a hard time reading this thing. It's you know how that TMV Kenwood shows up on there. Like Larry, he had a 9++ signal over here in Vermontville on me, and you have about 8 pounds.
Oh yeah, very good, very good. Thanks. Yeah, I have the TMV 71A, and it just gives you that little indicator. So it's not a real. It's relative, to the how many bars. I forget how many. It doesn't have 10 bars, does it?
Well, it's got at some point you could say a 9 in there, and like Larry's was 9++, and yours is just a little bit below the 9 there, so I'd say 8.
Cool. Well, that's really good for your distance at 30-something miles. Anything else for the net, David?
Nothing, but sure, as always, I appreciate what you do, and you get up sneaking up on that 1,000 mark, and that'll be a milestone. So let's have cake and ice cream. Have a good one, sir. 73. Everybody on this KI40.
Yeah, very good. I doubt I'm setting any records, or we're not setting any. I'm sure there's been people who've done nets consistently for a lot longer. You know, I don't know where they are, but I know there's got to be some out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, you're right. But still, 1,000, that's a milestone. Congratulations, sir.
You don't want to count your chickens before they hatch. You know the deal. That was David. He's in Reedyville, Kilo, India 4, November, Delta, November. Who else is south?
K4 KCF.
We had two in there, but I heard Kevin in there first. Kevin, what's up?
Hey, Paul, thanks for having me. I'm glad I caught you. Finish up with the kids. Been playing with QRP lately.
You're not on QRP now because you get a really loud signal tonight.
Well, I'm QRL right now, obviously, 50 watts, but no, my beam's pointed right at you. You're a little scratchy on my end, but you may have a better copy on me because your antenna.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it depends. I mean, David was really, well, you were really strong to me. It's really amazing how big a signal due to that beam. Which size beam do you have?
High gain 14 elements.
Oh, that's why. That must be, oh gosh, it's got to be 8 or 10 or 11 a dBi gain.
Something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, me neither. I just make stuff up as I go along.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on the net. Just thought I'd catch you all. Summertime's here, so I should be on the radio more often.
Well, it's when you can. I know you're a busy guy.
Yeah, Roger, usually it's the kids keep me busy this time of day.
Very good. Anything else for the net?
No, appreciate it. 73, this is K4 KCF.
You have to remind me again, Kevin. Where are you located? I know where it is. I just can't think of the name.
Almaville.
All right, Almaville. Yes, not a big spot on the map there. That's Almaville. That would be west of Murfreesboro, correct?
QSL.
Yeah, very good. Kilo 4, Kilo Charlie Foxtrot. That's Kevin in Almaville. Who else is south? Who was the next part in there? Hey, but you must be on a handheld tonight, Michael.
I am. I'm on the DMR.
Ah, very good. That's why that little the beep at the end that I can never get rid of in my radio.
I didn't realize I had that on DMR.
I thought it was a setting. I've got the dual band, DMR, and FM, analog, and I thought I removed it, and I think it's still there, but I haven't used it in a little bit, so we'll figure it out. Yeah, keep me posted on that other story we were talking about earlier.
I will. I emailed you a couple of articles that were
Very good. Anything else for the net? Yeah, that's a lot of reflecting to do and what's been going on, So anyway, good to have you in there, Michael. There was Michael here in Mount Juliet. He's on his handheld. November 1, Mike, Delta, Juliet. Who else is south or anywhere? Anybody, any place, anywhere, please come down.
WB0NLO. Still pay on that place.
All right, got two in there. And we'll take Mark first. How you doing, Mark?
Doing well. I guess I missed north. You must have started there.
Actually started east, but there was only like one check-in on east. So we zipped right through it.
Oh, well. Anyway, I was a little late getting here. But I don't really have anything for the net. Nothing new over here.
The deal, man. No news is good news.
That's true at any age.
That's what I'm saying. Now, when you're young, you want to have all kinds of things happening, but I'm at the point where if nothing at all happens, I'm happy. Yeah, only anything bad happens. That's what I'm anticipating all the time. Car breakdowns, appliance breakdowns, dog breakdowns.
Yeah. Well, I have that problem too with appliances and cars and stuff. But if you get old, you seem to keep it longer, and I guess it breaks more.
Yeah, but you know what's great is I use the like for instance the cars. They don't get much use from me at all. I mean, in the winter I have to between times I drive it I have to put on the charger, the trickle charger. Otherwise the battery will get weak.
Yeah. Well, my car is about it's a 16, and I just replaced the battery a month ago. That's the longest time I think I've ever kept a battery, and actually it was doing fine. It didn't go bad. I just was afraid it was gonna.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before. It's funny that it's hard to get more than 5 or 6 years out of a battery, at least here I know. And the same thing was in Florida.
Yep. Mine always die in the summer. You think winter it'd be hard on batteries, but I guess summer is just as bad. Anyway, I don't have anything else for the net. I'll be listening. WV0NOO.
Very good. That was Mark. Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar. Oscar with a big signal. Everybody should be able to hear him. I heard Carlin in there. How you doing, Carlin?
Doing all righty, I guess.
All righty. That's not good enough. You got to be great. You have to talk in superlatives.
Okay, I heard a dead key there for a second.
There may have been. I didn't hear it though.
Okay, guess I didn't want to say nothing. Anyway, no. Well, great. I guess I'll say it that way. Anyhow, I've just been sitting there listening to that. Been kind of diddling around today, listening to different. Other than that, just, I don't know. Kind of sitting around, I guess. So, anyway, hope you're doing okay there. And well, I think what was the antenna you had up before you put the 700 up?
Well, the 700 I have busted, and so I put up and moved the location by about 30 feet. I had the 700 up, and that's the one I had on order forever. And so I switched over in the meantime there with the well, 2 antennas really. One was that Comet. One's the tri-band Comet with a 2 meter, 70 centimeter, 220, and then the other one I put up to replace the 700 was the tram. I forgot the number on that one now. It's a 2 meter, 70 centimeter tram, and it works good really at this. And I may try to put that up again to see why this, or I got to test this antenna too. I haven't done that yet. But anyway, the 700 is not performing. I mean, right now I look like I have a 1.5 SWR, which is unacceptable for a nearly new, X700. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're just so you know, the Antioch sector, you've come up from a S7 to an S9, but I would expect you to be like 30 over S9 if you're hitting on all 8 cylinders, which is good, I guess, unless you have 12 cylinders. KD4 CV.
I can't even work up one good cylinder. Anyway, Carl, yeah, we had the X700, but I got to pull that back down and test it to see what's going on, why it's underperforming. Because, like I said, I've only had it since November, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, when you pull it down, you disconnect the coax from 700. If you can, put your dummy load on the end of your coax, and you should see a flat match. That's a good, quick way to check your coax out. So, well, I guess I'll hush up, turn it over, let some more people check in here, and hope everybody's having a good night tonight and enjoying the good weather. I think it's going to come up a big storm or something this weekend or something. So can't have it all, I don't reckon. It's been nice for the last couple of days, except for yesterday morning. I think we had that good rain out of the night sky. Couldn't say the breeze, but it came a pretty good rain. So anyway. Well, that's it. Toodaloo. I'm going to turn it back over to you. This is KD4VW. KD4VW, and I'm going to turn it back over to Net Control.
Very good. That was Carlin, Kilo Delta 4 Victor, Uniform Whiskey, and he's in Bethpage, Angeltown area. Who else is any place, anywhere? Well, I had nearly a perfect double, but I recognized Philip's voice.
Well, hello, Paul. How you doing there?
I'm doing wonderful. Really good. You know, when it's people talk about the rain, I can't help but think all it does is generate more mowing.
Oh, that's right. I just got done mowing my parents' yard this evening, and I should have mowed mine yesterday, but I didn't want to. So now I'm kind of regretting that.
It's funny because I grew up in a neighborhood where everybody's yards were relatively small. You know, I mean, the biggest lots in our neighborhood were probably 60 feet by 100 feet. And of course, there was a house and a driveway in there. So it's not much to mow. And I didn't have much to mow when I was a kid, but I complained a lot. And I moved to Tennessee, and everybody's got a big lawn.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, if I had a lawn that small, I think I'd just push mow it or even weed eat it.
Oh, my dad used to. I had a push mower, regular push mower, and then my father in his old age, and he actually decided he'd spend some money, which he never did. He bought one of those electric mowers. It's with a corded electric motor, not a battery one.
Oh, very nice. And you got me thinking about something as a kid. I remember my grandmother had one of those, I guess you call it a reel mower. You push it, and it's just everything was manual on it. And then she even had some kind of an early form of a weed eater, and it looked like a pair of scissors that was on the handle. You just squeeze the handle, and it would just kind of snip.
Yeah, I didn't have one of those, but I know what you're talking about. Well, my father-in-law had one of those, and even now, when you think back on it, it looks really stupid.
Oh yeah, but it got the job done. It kept people from getting down on their knees with a pair of scissors, at least.
Unless you had arthritis.
That's right. Well, congratulations on the upcoming 1,000. You said you're providing cake. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, you have to put your mouth up to the speaker on the radio.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be sure to do that on the 1,000th net night on Saturday.
Yeah, very good. It'll come through strained, as you can imagine.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I heard some mention about an amateur radio test on Saturday. I just wanted to give another offering there. We'll be doing the same thing here in Wilson County at the 115 Oak Street at the Wilson County EMA Training Center at 4:30. So if anybody's looking for something a little bit closer in Wilson County, we'll be there and be ready to test you.
And that's on Saturday, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, very good. And that's Saturday the 4th. That was Philip, Whiskey 8 Papa Lima Alpha, and the Wilson Amateur Radio Club's having testing at 115 Oak Street in Lebanon at 4:30 p.m. So if you fail the one up in Robertson, drive down to Wilson at 4:30. You can take the test again. It'll look like you passed it for the first time. All right, that was Philip, by the way, and he's in Tucker's Crossroads, Whiskey 8 Papa Lima Alpha. Who else is any place, anywhere? Please come now. I think I heard somebody else in there.
That's Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra with you. This is Blair in Mount Juliet.
Hey, Blair, how are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Actually had time to jump on the net here tonight for a little bit, so I thought I'd come say hello.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, there's one thing, just like me getting into ham radio when I was like 50, however old I was, 55 years old. And life got in the first 55, life got in my way because I always wanted to be a ham. And just like here on the nets, life gets in people's ways. Family, life, you know, work.
Yeah, I've had a double dose this week. I've had work get in the way of fun, and then I've also, I think I mentioned before, I run a nonprofit in Atlanta called Honor Flight, where we take veterans to D.C. for the day, and we got a trip coming up next week. So going over all the last minute details, make sure we got everything covered so things go smoothly next week.
Now the tour, is that the one? I refresh my memory. The tour is for the World War II Museum, or is it for as well World War II? Excuse me, the World War II Memorial, or does it cover the other two big memorials up there?
We cover all three. We cover World War II, Korea, Vietnam. We take veterans that were enlisted anywhere from the beginning of World War II all the way to the end of Vietnam. And I've actually got one World War II veteran going on this trip. So it's been a while since I've had one. We're looking forward to that.
Oh, that's awesome. I tell you what, I've not seen the World War II one, so I don't know. I can't speak. I've only seen pictures of it. It looks pretty impressive. But the Korean War Memorial is awesome.
Well, and they redid it just after COVID. When's the last time you've been there?
Oh, the last time I was there was, I don't even want to tell you, it's 90s.
Okay, well, they've redone the Korean War Memorial where they now have the names of everyone lost on engraved and granite on there for you to look up people who didn't make it back.
Oh, I did read about that. Is that on that granite wall?
Yeah, there's a separate granite wall over there for the Korea Memorial, similar to the Vietnam Wall.
Yeah, I just want to remind people, if you're going anywhere near Washington, make sure to see all three of those memorials. Like I said, I haven't seen the World War II memorial, but the well, the Vietnam War Memorial is, well, I had trouble going through it, to tell you the truth. But the Korean one is just cool. It really is cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing the other one. Anyway, I'm sorry, I get a little maudlin about that. Had some losses over there. Who? Anything else for the net there, Blair?
No, not at all. Just veterans, thank you for your service doing this trip. I'm not a veteran, but doing this trip means a lot to me to pay you guys back for what you did. It's a small thing, but best I can do.
Oh yeah, no, it's so much appreciated. I know that I had one of the family friends that we had for forever. My mother knew him since grade school, and I knew him from church for years. And he died he died 5 years ago, and he was in Battle of the Bulge, and he landed at Normandy the day after the invasion because he was in there he was on medical leave and recovering from a previous war wound, and he was with the Old Hickory Division here that started here in Nashville.
Yeah, well, now, if any veterans, anyone Korea, Vietnam, or World War II is listening tonight, there is I'm happy to take people, but you'd have to go all the way to Atlanta to go with my group. But there is a group out of Middle Tennessee, Honor Flight, that does the exact same thing we do, but they fly out of Nashville Airport. So if anybody wants to go, look them up online or get in touch with me. I'll get you in touch with the right people.
Cool. I don't know if there is, but I'm sure there's some relatives of somebody here that was in World War II or Korea or even Vietnam. So they contact the Honor Flight people here in the Nashville area because they do have flights regularly up to, and I believe they're gratis, are they not?
I believe they're what?
I'm sorry, they're free. In other words, the veteran doesn't pay for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Veterans go for free. Now, there is, and also somebody travels with the veteran called the Guardian. Those people do pay their way to go. It could be a family member, or if you don't have someone that wants to go with you, there's volunteers that go and they pay their own way. So, yeah, the veteran, it doesn't cost a penny.
Oh, that's cool. Well, thank you for your service to the servicemen. That's kind of neat. It really is because, in fact, I've got some videos here from that fellow I was telling you about who had served at the Old Hickory Division. I was thinking about publishing that. There may be some copyright issues. The only problem. They have a document. It's a documentary of the Old Hickory Division members who were left, who are still alive, about maybe 8-10 years ago. I'm not sure it was that long ago, but the one city they liberated paid for their trip to go back to honor them in Europe. It's really a cool video.
I actually got involved in and I didn't go on a trip, but I helped set up and coordinate things in Atlanta. But we had his name was Pastor Brown. He was an African American who served in World War II, both under segregated and desegregated parts during World War II. And he was going to back to the Netherlands as a guest for the 75th anniversary of the liberation of that part of World War II in Europe. Quite an experience to send that guy over there.
You don't remember where he was from, do you?
He was from Savannah when he went on the trip, and I think that is his hometown, but Savannah, yes.
Okay, because I knew a Pastor Brown in Tampa who was about that age. Wondered if it was him.
No, this guy came from Savannah, but again, it was quite an experience.
I'm confident it was. It really was. Yeah, well, they were, I tell you what, they were World War II bunches. They really went through hell. Anyway, that was Blair, Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Whiskey, and he's here in Mount Juliet. And again, honor flights, don't forget, if you have a relative or anybody you know who is in World War II Korea and wants to make a trip, it's free to make a trip. If somebody goes with them, they have to pay. And it's honor flight, you'd see it on the web. If I find it, I'll send it to you. Is there anybody else out there? But anyway, that was Blair. Who else is any place anywhere?
Kilo India 4, Zulu Delta Charlie.
Zulu Delta. Okay, if you've called in before, I've forgotten who Zulu Delta Charlie is.
I have. This is Adam. I'm out here in Lebanon. It's been a while since I've checked in.
Well, that's why. It's been a while since I lost it in my memory. Sorry about that, Adam.
I understand. It only takes a few minutes for me to lose it in my memory.
Lose what?
I forgot what I was doing. I really don't have anything. I just, I've had some antenna issues. Finally get back online. Thought I need to start checking in with you.
Oh, that's great. What kind of antenna do you have over there now?
Well, right now I'm on my mobile rig because I've got my HF hooked up and don't have access to my J-pole. So there you go.
The dreaded J-pole. Yeah, J-poles can work well if you're in a good location, but sometimes they're a bummer in bad terrain.
Well, I've got a LT-pole tram waiting to go up in its place, 14 footer. So that should help me a little bit.
Oh no, those, and I say cheap, and when I say cheap, I don't mean they're terrible, because I have a tram, and I've had a tram before, and they're decent antennas. In fact, the one I recommend is that 17 footer that runs, I don't know, I think you can get them for, I forget, less than $200. I want to say they're 150 bucks maybe. I forget.
Yeah, they're not a bad price. I mean, they're not the best antenna in the world, but they get the job done, and that's what counts to me.
Yeah, well, the only, I'll say warning is a bad word to use. It's not a warning. You do get what you pay for, usually in products, including antennas. And what I noticed about the tram is the fiberglass housing itself, the radome, doesn't hold up as well mechanically over time.
Yeah, I have heard that, and I've seen people clear coating them with something. I'm not sure of what. I don't know if that helps at all or if it hinders the situation.
Oh, I doubt it. I even have one now that has some problems with it, but its problems with leakage. And one of my solutions I have not tried yet, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy an appropriate length and diameter, inside ID piece of Schedule 20 PVC, which that's that thin wall PVC, and just slide it over the whole enclosure and seal it at the bottom, and I'll have a brand new antenna.
Yeah, that sounds like it would work. Protect it, and you've got a new antenna. So 2 for 1.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that's a decent solution. And then you actually, at that point, you don't even have to worry about leakage or the drain hole at the bottom.
That's a good plan. I'm going to have to remember that when I get around to putting this one up. All right, Paul, I'm going to give it back to you. Just wanted to make sure I got checked in tonight. KI4Z.
Very good. That was Adam. He is Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Charlie, and he's there in Lebanon. Who else is any place anywhere?
Comment.
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, that's a 1481 tram that you got, right?
Yes.
Okay, is it the white or the black version?
Yes, it's the white one.
Okay, because they make a black version. It's 1481B. I don't know if it's any better as far as lasting. But, there is some shrink wrap that you can buy, and you can put it over the couplings and shrink it down, and it's actually got glue on the inside, and it will actually seal that sucker right up. And that's one thing I think you can watch up on YouTube. That trying to think what they are. They're over at Mid Cumberland Repeater Society to the east of us. They show strengthening up a GP6, and that's one of the things they've done on it.
Well, the problem I have with that is, I noticed when I just looked at that antenna outside. I realized it was still out there. I've got it laying out there on the ground. But the problem I had with that antenna was that the smallest portion at the top actually cracked longitudinally, these really fine cracks. And I don't know whether it's just due to the sun and exposure, or a bird hit it, or I don't know what did it. But in fact, I even tried siliconing it, but I just gave up on it and bought another antenna. That's I don't know how long ago. That's 6 or 7 years ago. So the answer, yes, I'd love to do that, but you really, I hate to say it, but as far as I'm concerned, I'd slide a whole new something. If I could get a piece of shrink wrap over it, just slide it over the whole thing, that would solve the problem too.
Oh yeah, you can get multiple lengths and you can get it in different colors. You just have to get multiple lengths and overlap it. The bottom and work upward, that way that the next overlap would be over the bottom one and give a shingle effect. I don't know how long you can get that. It seems like they had some, when I was looking at the video of the new Gigaparks down there store, it looked like they had some pretty long lengths of shrink wrap there.
The guy was doing the walkthrough of the new store down there. Anyway, let me hush up and let's get back to the net.
Very good. That's a good idea. I hadn't seen that shrink wrap of that size, but you're right. That's a good option if you can find it. So anybody else? We're moving into the lurkers, lollygaggers, and sandbaggers. Scott already checked in, so he doesn't count. Any other lurkers, lollygaggers, sandbaggers, let's see, lizard people, let's see, flat earthers, end time survivalists, or moon landing deniers. I know we did go to the sun once. Anybody else out there before we move on?
KG4, am I right?
Oh, you were waiting. Which one were you waiting for, Kevin?
Hell, I was going for the moon landing denier. I'll be one of those tonight.
All right. KG4. I'll get your call right in a second. Man, I get all twisted around the hair. KG4 MIZ. That's what it is. Something I couldn't remember that. Anyway, how goes it?
You know me, man. I'm just hanging in there, trying to be cool on a hot day. I tell you what, it was a warm day today, Paul. I do a little bit of stuff outside and do a little bit more inside, but you know, kept the dogs running, going back and forth and whatnot. Well, I really can't tell you anything different than I told you last week or the week before that. Same old stuff, different day. I had a boring old life over here, cleaning and watching the pup.
Yeah, boring's good though. It means nothing bad happened.
Yeah. Well, you can always think of it that way, but sometimes you might need to get on the roof and fall off to make something happen, make it exciting.
You know, you can break that boredom. You go ahead and ask Lisa, what would you like me to do today?
You know what? She's been home for the last couple of days. She went back to work today, and I don't need to do that because she keeps me hopping.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, you also have yeah, you don't want to ask her that really. I do ask my wife that though, but it's just funny because I try not to ask too often.
Hell, I'm looking forward to get back to work so I can have me a vacation again.
Oh, I know. My wife actually, recently, I forgot what she said. Yeah, because she's still going to work every day like your ex-wife, and she said, well, you know, what did she say? You're the master of the home or something like that. I'm going, I don't think I want that title, but I guess that's what I do.
There you go. Just hang your head high. Take it with the stride, you know.
Yeah, I wanted to tell her, you can't insult me.
Yeah, you don't make me feel bad. I feel good about myself.
Yeah, very good. Anything else for the night, Kevin?
Well, I know. Ain't nothing going on, Paul. Same old stuff every day. Hope you had yourself a good week and everything. I'll pass it back to you, and we'll say 73 for now. 84, my thing.
Don't forget, we're going to 440 next on 446 415, and then over to 28 415, and then over to 223 415.
All right. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me on the 440, but I'll try it. We'll see what happens.
We shall see. That was Kevin, Kilo Golf for Mike India Zulu. He's in Lebanon over by Cumberland University. Anybody else? Please come now. That's a big number. We got 21 in here tonight.
Kilo Oscar 4, Tango Golf X-Ray, John in Montgomery.
Hello, John. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. Just getting here last minute here. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. It doesn't matter whether you come in early or late. We're still here.
Good to hear you on the air.
Well, very good. Good to hear you. You haven't been on in a while. I don't remember the last time, but I write down logs, but I don't it's not like a checklist as we move along. So I couldn't tell you when's the last time you checked in.
It's been a while. I have a family loss, but back on the air now.
Oh, very good. Well, I'm sorry for any losses you had. Family, yeah, I was saying it earlier. Family and work and life just get in the way. And I say it's in the way. That's more important than him right here.
Good to hear you.
Well, very good. Good to hear you, John. That was Kilo Oscar 4 Tango Golf X-Ray. Who else is any place anywhere? I heard a squelch breaker. Anybody there? Anybody copying anything I did?
Not a peep.
All righty, one last time for anybody, any place, anywhere before we move over to 440 and 446, 415. Okay, we had a big total here tonight, 22, so that was bigger than average recently. We're going over to 446, 415, unless I hear somebody complain. Very good, that's where I'm going. K4PEW, see you in 440, 446, 415. Man, I forgot it was even there. It's K4PEW. Forgot where I was on the dial there in the memory. I thought I had it right next to the other one. But it isn't. This is K4PEW. 446, 415. Looking for check-ins from the east. Please come now.
KM4YRF.
Okay, you sound good, of course. Getting close by. Why don't you go drive out a few miles and call me back? KM4YRF. Who else is the east?
Whiskey 8, Papa, Lima Alpha, Philip and Tucker's Crossroads.
You're not on the HT, are you?
Negative on the HT.
No, you got a big signal. That's why I said it. You sound great. That's Philip, Whiskey 8, Papa, Lima Alpha. Who else is the east? Over to the north.
84 New London.
Yeah, see, you made it over to that frequency. Very good. You sound good there, Danny.
Well, thank you. It took me a minute, but I got it.
Yeah, well, that's what quickly said. That was one of the reasons I even started the Simplex Net 15 when I was down in Florida, because I realized that a lot of hams couldn't even figure out how to go to Simplex because everything was pre-programmed in the radios anyway. And so I was one of those people too. I mean, I struggled with it when I first became a ham. Who else? That was Danny, by the way, in near Cottontown, Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November. Who else is north?
WB0 and OO.
Are you struggling to get on the net tonight?
Yeah, a little.
Not physically. No, I'm pretty sure you know how to adjust your radio by this time.
Yeah, well, that time I learned how to use one, I get a different one. This new one is a little confusing, but I figured it out.
Ah, very good. Yeah, new ones, new anything's a pain. Very good. That was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar, Northwest Wilson. Who else is north?
84 VUW, Carlin Angel Town.
Yeah, you sound good tonight there, Carlin. That was Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey. Who else is north? Anybody west?
Kilo Delta 4 Tyler Victor Echo.
Very good. Give me a call again. I do have it, Greg, but it sounded like there was a tone on your radio on that frequency.
All righty there. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Yeah, I had to also figure out where it was in my memory, where I thought it was. This frequency that is K4TE.
Yeah, I went in the wrong direction. Yeah, you've got, it sounds like that 60 cycle hum in there. That's why I say that. And I'm sure you can figure it. Maybe it doesn't matter. We don't go there very often. Unless you just like the hum. That was Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo. Greg in Antioch. Who else is west?
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor.
Very good. We got Jack in there in Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Good signal. Not as noisy as 2 meter. There was somebody else in there too. Who was that? I can't. I hear a tone and I hear scratch, but I don't hear any audio. Anybody copying that? Let's try it again. Please go again, please. And talk louder and increase your power. Oh, okay, got nothing. Who else is west? Or south? Anybody south?
Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Whiskey. I guess I'm south of you.
Oh, that's very good. Very good, Blair. That was Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Sarah Whiskey. Blair here in Mount Juliet. Good signal, of course. They're relatively close. Who else is south or anywhere? No more. I was expecting more. We had 22 on the 2 meters. Now we got 9 on 70 centimeters. One more chance before we move over to 28.415. Any check-ins, please come now. All righty, we're going to move over to 28.415. We'll see you there. Okay. All righty, we're here on the 28.415. This is K4PEW. It's with the net control with the net control of the, let's take check-ins from the east. Please come now.
KM4YRF.
Very good. You got Michael with a big signal, of course. He's only 2 miles from me. Who else is, and he's in Modular. Who else is east? Please come now. Anybody else east? How about north? All right, we got 2 in there. We got Danny, Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November near Cottontown, and Mark. Mark is Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar, and both be big signals. I heard them both well too. Who else is north? Of west, please. Looking for west. All right, we got a little better signal than I remember you before there, Greg. It's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west?
Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor.
Hey, you got a big signal here, Jack. That's Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else is west? Nobody else west? How about south?
Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Whiskey.
Very good, Blair. You sound good too. That's Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Whiskey. What kind of antenna are you using there, Blair?
I've got a 2 meter in halfway in my attic that's kind of almost in a square shape. I'm gonna work on that a little bit, but it seems to be doing okay.
No, it's actually doing pretty good, considering that you're horizontal in an attic and I'm vertical outside, a very big vertical. So your signal's pretty good for having that half wave end fed in a square.
I'm getting upward, but I'm not receiving too great. So you're coming in fine, and I heard Mike, but everyone else is faint or not coming in at all.
No, I can be rough on that horizontal because most of the people, I say most, I think it's most people are on verticals. So you're not doing too bad. Have you worked much HF on that loop?
Yeah, I just worked on 20 meter, but of course I'm talking on 10. But yeah, 20 I do okay. I've been doing some other stuff with some hunting, and I make dry core tubeless the other day, so it's doing all right.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I would guess that you were doing pretty good on the on the DX stuff because it's you don't need any antenna under the right conditions can do well. I had a friend of ours down in Florida, and he had a townhouse, and he said, "I've got an antenna in the attic." Now remember, he's got a skinny 2-story townhouse, which is usually not very big. I think it was 1,200 square feet or something. And he said, "I said, what kind of antenna is this in the attic?" I said, "What?" Or somebody asked him. He said, "I got a full-size G5 RV." You have a full-size G5 RV. It's 130 feet long. I know his apartment's not that long. So I don't know what he did in the attic. He must have run around in circles.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing with the space like that to work it in. So, but I'm doing good north and south with it on trying to do contacts, but I'm not getting anything east and west. So I'm trying to figure out something different with it.
Very good. Well, you sound like you're making some good headway there. That was Blair here in Mount Juliet. Who else? Any place, anywhere, or south particularly? Please come now. Very good, Scott. Which antenna are you on tonight? Okay, very good. You're doing fine. I can hear you. Not a big signal, but I can still hear you. That was Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta in Laverne. Who else? Is any place, anywhere? Any place, anywhere? Please come now. Okay, we ran 1 short on that. Somebody didn't have 10 meters. It was on 70 centimeters. Any last chance for we move over to 220? Please come now. All righty, we'll close the net, and I'm going to close down the Facebook and the other page so we can go to our secret frequency over there in 220, because nobody listens. we can talk privately there. Anyway, it's K4PEW. We'll see you guys over the other one. Okay, see you then. Thanks for the check-ins. Good night, everybody. Well, I knew how to shut this down. Oh, there we are.